Hi, my name is Michaela Harris. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out to my husband Christian for this video. We really like making these for business owners just to give them a little bit of education on how to reach their customers and where their customers are at and some things that they can be doing to go after all the volume that's out there available to them. And I truly believe that the number one way for service-based businesses to reach their customers is by getting to that first page of very specific Google searches, not just any Google search, but very specific ones, and we'll explain that in just a minute. But when you do this, you're going to want to utilize content backlinks and citations with a website and Google Business Profile. Now, reason being is there is a significant amount of people searching for each type of service within each area. So knowing what those people are actually typing into Google is going to be important in knowing how to target them. So I'm going to explain a little bit about each of those things, and at the end I'm going to show you what volume is actually out there available to you for your services that you offer. So let's get started. So I couldn't find a website or a Google Business Profile for your company, which is understandable. A lot of people don't understand how valuable they are, so that's part of why I'm making you this video today. But I did notice that you had a Yelp page, and from what I could tell with it being updated 1 month ago, I'm going to guess that you're probably a really new business, which is great, which is fine. I'm glad that you're getting started early learning this information. But basically, one of the most important things that you need to understand is that when someone is looking for a company, they don't know they exist. If they're looking for someone to do a service for them, one of the first things most people do is get on their phone and go to Google. So when they do this, they're going to be typing in what we call a keyword. It's any type of search phrase that they use to look for something. And when someone needs something like a pressure washer, a landscaper, they are going to be typing in what we call a buyer intent keyword, meaning it's usually in the form of a service or a city, like this one that you see here, pressure washing Myrtle Beach. And what that means is that when someone types in those specific buyer intent keywords, they have an intention of making a purchase of a product or hiring a company for a service. And when they do this, they're going to see the top 3 businesses and maps and the first page of organic URLs. 9 out of 10 people will never make it to the second page, and most won't even click more businesses. You want to be as easy as possible for your customers to find you in order for them to utilize your services. They're not going to utilize you if they don't know you exist. And a lot of people are not going to go search on Facebook. While there is a certain percentage of them that do, granted, but one of the biggest things people do is type something in on Google. I mean, I'm sure that you can probably relate to that, as if you've been looking for something, one of the first things you do is search it on the internet. So with that, the only way you're going to get on this first page and to get in both of those positions so that you hit the most amount of people possible and pick up on the most amount of traffic searching that term as possible is by being in the top 3 maps with your Google Business Profile, and by being in the first page of organics as close to the top as possible with a website. Now, a Google Business Profile is pretty simple. You're just going to go to your Google account, go to your apps, and create this business profile here. You're going to want to make sure you completely fill it out and get it verified. Make sure you're utilizing all 750 words of that company description. The more words, the better. That way you can be as detailed as possible. And then you're going to want to, over time, get more reviews, photos, and citations than your top competitors. Citations are super important. They are directory sites that list your name, address, and phone number exactly as it appears on your Google Business Profile. Now, your website, there's a few things that you can do with that to please Google and make Google want to put you at the top of the page. So I'm going to take a look at this guy right here. It's your first actual company competitor that's not Yelp or Angie. So your actual first competitor, I'm going to take a look at his website and give you some tips for when you create yours. So when you go do this, the platform that I'm going to recommend to you is one of those user-friendly drag and drop type ones, but it's also very search engine optimization friendly. You're going to want to use snaps.ai. Now, Snaps is a great platform. Like I said, it's very drag and drop, very user-friendly for people who are not familiar with creating websites. And they have lots of templates that you can choose from. But when you do this, you're going to want to make sure your homepage is targeted to whatever your main service area is. And usually that helps for it to match whatever your maps profile is. So your main service area is your homepage, and you want to make sure there's about 1,500 to 2,000 words of authoritative content with very targeted keywords throughout that content. And I'll show you how to know which keywords you specifically want to put in here. But you're going to want to make sure you have all those good keywords in that 1,500 words of content. Any back pages you have need to have about 500 to 750 words. And then, of course, if you serve multiple areas, have a drop down with different back pages for each additional area that you serve. That way you can rank those back pages on page 1 for that area without having to rank your entire website for so many different pages. Ranking back pages is going to be a little easier. And then you're going to want to space your services out a lot like what this guy did here. So, but again, that has to do with keywords, is knowing which page actually deserves its own page, which service deserves its own page. So if I take a look here at his statistics, you can see his UR and his DR is extremely low. It just tells me it's going to be a lot easier to beat him. UR and DR is how trustworthy and powerful your website is, and it's influenced by your backlinks. Backlinks are just a link from another website back to you, and you want those to be strong, powerful, and relevant links. Irrelevant or spammy backlinks will hurt you, not help you. But the most important thing here are going to be those keywords, and that's what's going to show you the volume. So pressure washing in Myrtle Beach has 250 searches a month. Pressure washing Myrtle Beach SC has 80 searches a month. Power washing, 60. And I can continue going down this list. Any of these that are different, so just between those, you're getting closer to, let's say, 400, plus some of these down here, you're getting into like the 500, 600 people mark. Roof cleaning, so that would be one that would need its own service page, but it still falls under pressure washing. But it's got 60. Let's see, if you service Conway, South Carolina, I'm not really sure how close that is to Myrtle Beach, but you can include that as another back page. So basically what I want you to see is there's a lot of potential here for pressure washing in Myrtle Beach. It's actually pretty decent. But the other thing I wanted to show you is I did notice on the Yelp page, which I apologize if I'm looking at the wrong Yelp page. It's the only one I could find for your area, and it was a pressure washing company with your exact name, so that's why I went with it. But it does say that you do landscaping as well, so I wanted to show you the volume for that too right before we jump off this video. So Myrtle Beach landscaping has 400 searches. Landscaping Myrtle Beach has 400 searches. And Landscaping Myrtle Beach SC has 250 searches. Just between those 3 words alone, and there are more down this page, but just between those first 3 words I found alone, there's over 1,000 people in Myrtle Beach looking for a landscaper. So what I'm trying to get at here is that there is a huge potential for growth for your company. I hope that these tips that I gave you today will help you. Of course, if you have any questions or would like to learn more about having a company like mine do these things for you, I would love to talk with you more about it. Otherwise, I hope you found the information helpful, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.